This meeting of Snoqualmie Valley Hospital District Number 4 Board of Commissioners is called to order. Would the clerk please call the roll?
President Norris?
Here.
Vice President Young?
Here.
Secretary Spikers?
Here.
Commissioner Herron?
Here.
Commissioner Pollard?
Here.
Thank you.
The board will now meet in executive session as authorized in RCW 42.30.110 to discuss a personnel matter. The board will adjourn upstairs. The session should last about 90 minutes, maybe less.
I should also state to review the job performance of a district employee.
Okay. To review the job performance of a district employee. Do I need to read this?
No, that's sufficient.
Okay.
Point of order, Madam President. Let's just make sure we make a note of when the meeting started.
There may be other things discussed with respect to the employee, so
Okay.
let's just not keep that.
We are leaving at 5:13 to go upstairs.
Okay.
All right. And the meeting was convened at 5:12.
5:12, 5:10.
Okay. For the record, the way the meeting is convened.
Good. You're right now? Did I scare you? Did I scare her? Oh, I'm sorry. I did scare her. Okay, let's wait a minute before we call to me. Okay, we now are calling the meeting of Snoqualmie Valley Hospital District Board of Commissioners, Hospital District Number 4 Board of Commissioners is called to order. Will the clerk read the roll call?
Yeah. Didn't you do that earlier?
Did we do that earlier?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So we're down here. Okay. Okay, the executive session has concluded and the board has returned. The regular board meeting will now commence. Our next item of business is to approve the agenda. Are there any changes to the agenda?
What did you say, Gene?
Well, I think there has to be a motion before she calls for changes. Is that correct, Madam?
No, it's fine to ask if there are any changes.
No, it's fine to ask. According to our parliamentarian, it is fine.
And what are you asking?
I'm asking if there are any changes to the agenda.
Yeah, Madam President, we've discussed this before. I would like to modify the agenda to add following new business the word other for committee of the whole in case that there are things that come up during the meeting and maybe we hear from the public. It allows commissioners to have something to say at the end of the meeting.
This is on the agenda.
In that regard, I think that there will be a scheduling of an executive special meeting. I should say special meeting under executive session next week, and we'll need to talk about it under other.
Okay, I have other on my agenda. My special.
We do have other.
You got it right there.
No, look at this. It's right there.
Oh,
It's right there.
I'm sorry. I beg your pardon. I was looking at the agenda for the special meeting.
No.
It's not on my agenda for the special meeting. I can only say that. Where is it on yours?
It's not on mine either.
It's here.
And
Did you print this one?
I printed this one and I don't see one in my packet.
Elmer, you passed something like this today, right? This is just one, and you passed it.
It's on all.
She gave you.
Well, I have an agenda here and it doesn't say other, so it
Look in the packet.
She passed something.
I know. I'm not seeing one here.
So why do I have two agendas? And they're both for February the 4th. Both of these are special meetings. Go ahead.
Gene, there was another agenda sent out today, I believe.
Well, I didn't get it. So, all right, that's fine. If the other is already on there, then I withdraw my motion or comment.
I don't have it on mine. I don't even have it on.
Thank you.
Okay. All righty.
Are there any other changes?
Are there any other changes to the agenda? Okay.
Hearing none, the agenda is approved.
Hearing none, the agenda is approved. I gotta find out where I am here. Okay. Under, yes,
Was there a motion? I don't have a motion or a second on that.
no, you don't.
I would do because other is already on there.
We don't have to.
But I didn't get a copy
It's
of
approval
that.
by unanimous consent.
Okay. It's approval by unanimous consent. Okay.
Would you like to clarify, or would you like me or Valerie to clarify that this is still a special meeting?
I will do that.
Because its point is relevant.
Okay. I want to clarify that this is a special meeting. And under Robert's Rules of Order, minutes are not approved at a special meeting. Consideration of these minutes is therefore postponed till the March 3rd meeting. And you will notice we had 3 different minute items that we were supposed to approve. So those are going to happen next month.
Point of order, Madam President. My
Commissioner.
understanding is that minutes can be approved at a special meeting as long as they are on the special meeting agenda. So perhaps you would consult with your parliamentarian on that point.
May I read from Roberts?
You may read from Roberts.
Robert says on page 473 of the current edition, a special meeting does not approve minutes. Its meeting should be approved at the next regular meeting.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Communications. All right. This kind of. All right. Communications. President has no communications to report. She would like to use this opportunity, though, to make an announcement with regard to board committees. It's been brought to the President's attention that a formal appointment process by the board would be appropriate. The President proposes to offer a motion at the next meeting listing the proposed chair and members of each committee for discussion and approval by the board as required by the bylaws in Section 7. Superintendent McClone, do you have anything that you would like to share with the board?
Thank you, Madam President. Just one thing, we had another phenomenally successful month for the month of January, and I just wanted to do a shout out and a huge thank you to the staff for the excellent work that they've provided in the community to our patients. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we will be moving to committee reports. Finance Committee report. Commissioner Spikers will provide the Finance Committee report.
Thank you. We had a wonderful Finance Committee meeting, and we talked about a lot of things, and there was something that is on the agenda is with respect to the resolution approving practice participation agreement, and I think I probably asked 30 or 40 questions during the presentation by Dr. Witkoff, and I thought it was very informative. I thought the meeting went very well. It was well organized and a lot of good information. I believe that there'll be more information provided on that today at the meeting before we get into that particular item. We'll go into monthly financials, and this is for December, and that's just all we've got, and we're behind usually by about a month and a half or 2, just because of the billing system and all the work that goes into calculating monthly census. We had a record month capacity, 24.75 people out of 25 beds. I don't know how you get that 3/4 person in there every day, but that's pretty phenomenal. I mean, I never heard of a hospital having that kind of capacity unless it was a terrible event that happened. So, and I'd rather not have that happen. But we are, our ER visits went up a little bit. And I believe that there's a really cool administrative report that shows kind of for the last year. I encourage anybody to go over there to take a look at where we are in many levels, and it really is self-explanatory. We are looking positive on almost everything. And the endoscopies are up. Clinic visits are the only ones that are down. And there's going to be, I believe, an adjustment there of some kind, or there's going to be some planning, and I'm not exactly sure of what, but my understanding is that there will be, there's going to be some things done, so internal. And that is all I could say about that. When it does happen, I will be happy to share that to the public when it comes time. I made some notes. We went through carefully the budget and the actual what we actually incurred. We do have revenue up. We have expenses up too. We're trying to show, and I think we lost $349,000, I believe, or $352,000. But then we looked at, as a suggestion from Jim Simon, to look only at we only look at our operations versus in our revenue and expense. If we looked at that, we're actually breaking even or making money. When you start tagging in, all of our bonds and our debt payments, that's when we are then we get into trouble. As far as looking at the hospital vitality in the future. And I think if we continue to pay, and we're able to pay all of our debt on a monthly basis, and we're still having operations well, I think we'll be all right. But there's going to be some things in the future that the board will be considering. I'm kind of giving you an overview, kind of in as far as kind of things that we're perceiving, not necessarily all the figures are there. They're in these sheets. They're here. I'm just trying to give you an overlay about what it means, kind of, so that the public is more understanding about, instead of looking at a bunch of figures and saying, well, what is this? What is that? What does it mean? Well, we've got a ton of cash in the bank, and we've developed. We're cash rich, in fact. This is the first time ever that I remember since that was, I don't think we've ever had this kind of cash available. And what that does is increases us as increases our viability as far as what other people perceive us to be, and what our neighbors, our tax constituents believe we are and how we are doing. And so that's a good thing. I think it's kind of giving you an overview. The figures speak for themselves. We're doing really well. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's the first time, I think, in a long time I can truly say we're doing really well. And there are some things to do and tweak. And we're going to be going in some directions, not like overnight, but we've really, really kept an eye on expenses, and that's something that needed to be done, and we've done it by having open meetings, asking questions, questions. I just asked a question about an expense that's going to be coming up. And I got like a 2-page response from Steve, which was very explanatory, and it showed that this expense is going to be saving us money. I don't mind. I don't mind if we have an expense if we're going to be saving money on it in the immediate future. But frivolous expenses are not going to be tolerated anymore, and I think we all are united in that as a board. So with that, I'm going to turn it over for questions, if possible, because I know a couple of the commissioners were here at the finance meeting. They may have some follow-up questions. Were you here at the last finance meeting? Jean was.
You also have an action item?
I do?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, I would,
Do you want to
do you want to take
discuss?
this question, or you want me to move further?
If you want to take a question, that's fine, and then we'll move on.
Okay, we'll take the question, because it's probably burning.
I do have some questions.
Okay.
I hear all of this flowery language about what great shape we're in, but if you turn to page unnumbered here, profit and loss statement,
Which one are you looking
it's
at?
the second page of your minutes. Yeah, now we're not supposed to be approving minutes, but we're speaking from the notes that are in the minutes and making a report. So I'm referring to the profit and loss statement where it shows the district loss for the month, and I think that must have been December.
Yes, it was December.
Was $352,000.
Right.
The loss for the year was $4.1 million. On the balance sheet, accounts receivable decreased from $6.4 million in November to $5.9 million in December, about $500,000 decrease in accounts receivable. So I know the rationale that is presented here, but I don't think the picture is as rosy as you're trying to present it. We have a long-term liability of $98 million, and that doesn't count the line of credit. If you add in $4 or $5 million, we're about $103 million in long-term liabilities, and I don't consider that a very pretty financial picture.
I appreciate those comments, I really do, and I'm going to explain a few things, because I've said this pretty much why we're losing $4 million for this year. I've explained this in the last 3 board meetings. Maybe you should take some notes. But the $4 million that we are losing this year were approximately $2.5 million were for bond costs. There was $3 million. Okay, $3 million, and we had approximately, I believe it was, Steve, you can help me with this just for a second. We noted all of why we would lose the money.
Two items, the bond costs, which we planned on, and then the acceleration of depreciation.
Yeah.
So we accelerated depreciation so we could take the money, we're not running, but we're going to take the money up front, put it in the bank. And instead of a normal, I've kind of done this analogy because it makes sense to people own a home. If you have a 30-year mortgage and you're paying a certain amount in interest every year, or let's just say the commercial property, then you have a 30-year loan on the property, you depreciate over 28 years normally, and it's in a regular, each year is a certain percentage of depreciation. We are depreciating at probably higher rate than that, much higher, and we are actually depreciating each item in the hospital. Like carpet might be 5 years instead of 30. Handles might be 30 years. I don't know. I mean, we're doing it according to what the actual lifespan of each fixture in the hospital. So what we're able to do is we are able to depreciate that, and that depreciation goes to our cost report when getting reimbursed from Medicare. So Medicare pays us based on our actual costs of supplying services to those Medicare patients that are in hospital. So in reality, we might be getting paid $3,400 per patient day right now. And what we're doing, we're not wasting that money. We're taking the money that we actually get reimbursed and we're putting it in the bank. And if the board has spoke that money has to be blocked and to sit there to decide what the board would like to do with it. If at the end of a certain time period when certain bonds come due, we can pay them off. If we, at a certain period, we decide we want to do a different surgical line, we can do that. We'll have money in the bank. If at some time we want to refinance to build a new office, medical office building, we might be able to do that. We'll have better credit, we'll have a better credit rating by that money in the bank, and that's what we're doing. And so we did purposely on the $1 million of the loss actually depreciate, and we also are recovering all interest. We're reporting interest only on the loan. We're taking that money up front. We don't know how long our critical access program will be. It might be 3 years, it may be 5, it may be 10. If we take the money now and put it in the bank, we will get this money now ahead of time. We can actually make money off the money that we put in the bank. And so it's a net positive for the district so that the board has more avenues to more things that they can actually consider logically and reasonably, where in the past we had no money in the bank. We had absolutely no money in the bank in early June of 2015. I think it was a net 100,000 or something.
Do any other commissioners have any questions for?
So hopefully that kind of answers the questions.
Can I answer one question? Gee, very observant that accounts receivable went down, and that's very positive. It means we're collecting our money quicker, and it's down. Accounts receivable days, the amount we have measured by days of revenue is down to 59, which is where it should be. It should be 55 to 60. The other thing you mentioned is the line of credit we took out for ICD-10. We have not drawn on that, and that is a very positive indicator. So, thank you.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks for clarifying that. Is there any other commissioner that has any questions for Commissioner Spikers?
I have additional questions.
You get one more additional question.
Why one more, Madam Chair?
Because it's 2 questions.
Who says?
Isn't that based on
Is there
Robert's
any
rule?
bylaws that it says 2 questions?
So there is a general rule in Robert that each member may speak twice on each topic under consideration. Now, it's a little bit flexible with regard to Q&A, but it's certainly important that every member have a chance to ask any question.
Okay, thank you.
And so after each member has an opportunity to speak twice, then does it go back and then additional questions and comments can be made?
If the board wishes to continue by majority vote, yes.
Yeah, that's what we're, yeah, it's not a conversation. Did you have another question, Commissioner Pollard?
Well, I just wanted to ask Steve through you, Madam President, that while the accounts receivable, that there's a positive aspect to that, it also is an asset, is it not? When you have accounts receivable of a given amount, that can be considered an asset.
What happens is the asset of accounts receivable goes down, the asset of cash goes up, so there's not a loss of assets. In other words, that accounts receivable gets turned into cash if we collect it. We turn a promise into money.
Madam Chair, I would ask Steve or David, what I want to avoid is that we, for short-term gain or for appearance sake, we don't engage a long-term liability. You see what I'm saying? In other words, yes, okay, if you accelerate the depreciation and so forth, this will give us a short-term, more positive picture, but doesn't it also lead to long-term greater liabilities?
I think that's what our strategic, one of the things I brought up several times, and I questioned, just because we have cash in the bank, at some point our reimbursement is going to be much less. I think that's what you're getting at. And we have to have a plan available to meet the lesser amount of reimbursement, because we won't be able to write off all of our depreciation and interest in 10 years like we are now. And so we have to come up, and that's the board's job to provide some direction, and that's why we're having strategy meetings. And it's a good point. It's one that I've made several times. That's why I wanted strategy meetings to start looking in directions other than wait-and-see approach. So.
Are you ready to do the warrants, Commissioner
I am,
Spiker?
and I'd make that motion to approve the warrants at this time.
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion?
I have a point, Madam Chair, and that is that I would like to see a breakout of the payroll whereby the exempt and non-exempt employees.
Call for the question.
That's out of order.
You're out of order. Calling for the question is out of order.
Yes, go on, Mr. Paul.
Yes, go on, Mr. Pollard.
Am I allowed to speak?
Yes, you are.
All right, well, it's just that I very much want to make sure that our line employees and our caregivers get paid, but I have some issues with some of the top-heavy, what I consider the top-heavy exempt staff, and I would like to see a breakout so that I can approve the warrants for the non-exempt employees, but disapprove the warrants for the exempt employees until that's corrected.
I'm sure the Finance Committee will take that under consideration in the future. Okay, are we ready? Is there any other discussion before we vote on the warrants? All righty then. Is there, yeah, are those in favor?
Aye.
Say aye. Those opposed?
Opposed.
The ayes have it, the motion passes. Medical Committee, we will now hear from Commissioner Young. She will provide us with a medical committee report. Or, I don't know, whoever, is Emma going to do it? Okay, I'm sorry. Commissioner Herron will be doing it.
Good evening. District-wide, January 15, they hold an annual all-staff meeting, and it was well attended. A presentation was given on healthcare reform, and there are 18 5-year awards, 11 10-year awards, and 1 15-year award that was given. Hospital-wide, SBH hosted Bloodworks Northwest, which was formerly called Puget Sound Northwest, for a community blood drive on January 15. 25 people participated. They provided blood components for up to 45 patients. The inpatients we have a good average daily census for the 2016 budget is 19.9. Month to date is at 24.8, and I believe Mr. Sparker spoke on that. Update on consideration for reserving an open bed to receive ED admissions. Close monitoring ongoing of all the patients is transferred due to lack of available beds. We'll be talking about the adult family home later. Anticipate enough data will be available by end of February to make a wise decision on this. The launching of the inpatient dialysis was delayed until April for the swing bed patients due to the longer time that is expected for modification of 2 rooms to be dialysis capable. The emergency, well, if you have a copy, you can look at it. I'm just going to go over the highlights that So that also the launching of the barcode medication administration and the ED, the emergency devices, is already the case in all other hospital departments. Is that right, Dr. Rica? Dietary, these are safe training scheduled for February 1st and 3rd. There's a nearing completion of negotiations for a no-cost acquisition of the analyzer to replace visual reading process for drug screens via a region purchase agreement. There's also an opportunity to upgrade to a more robust chemistry analyzer for minimal expense. Imaging, this is something maybe I need to know more. There's a transition to UPACS. This is a digital image storage contract at 50% cost reduction, which will save $15,000 a year. Okay. New Hospital Solutions Work Group, there is a near completion of residual new hospital-related installations. Moving the group to be the support services for work group for non-clinical processes, IT materials, housekeeping facilities, and that sort of thing. Clinics, Director of Clinics Operations, I think they have recruited, or are they still recruiting now? Recruiting. Okay, still recruiting. So, you know, the other positions, open positions are all filled. Exploring additional of internal medicine to clinic system, hospital sliding scale for uncompensated care is being extended to the Snoqualmie Ridge Medical Clinic. They're responding to requests. By the way, the Snoqualmie Tribe has approached us, the hospital, if we would look into providing emergent occupational injury patients for their tribe, and it will be a 90 days trial basis based on availability and processes, correct? Okay.
Thank you, Commissioner.
This is a family home. The reason they're still exploring this, and I think there's that possibility that they may have already talked to the provider of the home that is being considered, correct? And the reason that we're doing is because we want to free up some of the beds, the swing beds, for those more long-term patients that are in the hospital. So we don't just throw them out on the streets. That's one of the, you know, the purpose of looking into the adult family home. And then we're considering the clinically integrated network of the OPM overlay providers network. Also looking into other collaborative opportunities such as the accountable care organizations. That's it, unless Dr. Whitcock has something else to add. Thank you.
And now I have that Dr. Whitcock will be...
Precision credentialing, I believe that needed to be...
I just wanted to make one clarification. We don't throw people out on the
Oh,
street.
I'm sorry, I think that's very harsh. I don't mean it. Excuse me.
Jessica, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Who was the 15-year award?
Awardee. Who is the 15-year awardee?
Carolyn Marks, who's our assistant controller.
Oh.
Yeah.
There's a lot of financial work today.
Question related to that, and that is in the past, the board president has attended that awards. Did you attend that?
Yes, I did.
And also in the past, other commissioners were notified about this award ceremony and were able to attend. We were not notified this time.
We will make note of that for the future to make sure that that happens. Val? Okay. Dr. Whitcock, you're next on my list.
I have additional questions.
Oh, before we do the warrants? Okay.
Before we do warrants?
Conditional, credentialing is what we have.
Yeah, before we do.
All right.
In other words, I have questions about the medical committee report. And that is that we have a serious issue whereby people that come into the emergency room maybe can't get a bed in a hospital. And the whole concept of the swing bed program is for people to be able to move from the same institution, from post-operative conditions or whatever, into a swing bed. And it's not operating that way. And I know there's some effort being made to try to save a bed for that purpose. But basically, we're not operating the way swing beds were designed, which is from operative condition in the same hospital into the skilled nursing side of things.
I'm going to say, we don't do surgery at our hospital, and our hospital is not just not just a swing bed hospital, it's also an acute care hospital.
Yeah, but an acute care patient that needs to go into skilled nursing side of things can't do it.
Just a moment, just a moment.
Yes.
We're not having a conversation.
No.
Well,
Any further questions?
Are there any further
I would like to
questions?
respond to,
Okay, we're talking about people who come into the emergency room and could be admitted to our hospital if there is a bed available. We are studying how to make a bed, or if it's an idea important to do.
I need to interrupt. This is not in order. This is not a part of our order right now, so we need to move on. We have Dr.
Get all the questions from Mr. Pollard.
Pardon?
Mr. Pollard should ask his other questions too.
Do you have other questions, Mr. Pollard?
yes, on the note, it says may have an opportunity to upgrade to a more robust chemistry analyzer minerals, have submitted necessary information. To whom was the information submitted, and who might support us in that?
So we'll get back to you on that.
We will get back to you on that. Somebody from medical committee will get back to you on
Thank
that.
you.
Dr. Whitcomb, what would you like to do for additional?
So the Medical Executive Committee met on January 25th, and we had quite a slate of new applications and renewals to look at. So in the first group is an initial provisional application, and that is Dr. Diane Nathan for teleradiology. We reviewed all of her background information and application and recommended approval. The second group is initial affiliate staff membership, and I'm just going to take a moment to say that this is, I talked to you about it a couple of months ago, that in January we were going to be able to extend privileges to pharmacy and dietitians, and so this is that moment. So this is a new set of privileges that we're giving out. So for initial affiliate, we have Ron Bennett, we have Dr. Elizabeth Boots, Dr. Candy Maderi, Dr. Tran. These are all in our pharmacy and reviewed and recommend for approval to initial affiliate status. And then we have Diane Bekrajak, and she's our dietitian, and again, recommend approval to affiliate status for her.
Does any commissioner care to move acceptance of the credentialing recommendation?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Are you ready to vote? Ready to vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it.
Okay, so I'll move on to the next group. We have another initial affiliate application, and this is Mr. Bob Blanchard, also a pharmacist. This is a unique situation in that because we're extending privileges to someone who already works within our organization, this doesn't usually happen. There was something in Mr. Blanchard's background regarding a medical issue, and so we felt like that it was prudent, since it's a new privileging area, that we put in some custom monitoring for the first 6 months. And so, sorry, I'm getting ready to sneeze. There we go. So we put in some custom monitoring for the first 6 months of the time that he is in this privileged area. It's not a statement of concern. It is a statement of feeling like it's due diligence for us to do. And so you'll see that there is a recommendation for approval. So no issues with the approval, just an opportunity for additional monitoring in the first 6 months.
Point of order, Madam Chair.
State your point.
My point is that it sounds like we're violating his privacy rights by bringing these details into the public meeting. Jay, is that possible? Can I ask for a reading by the attorney?
You can ask the attorney.
I think it's a violation of the privacy.
Thank you.
Serene.
Me to continue?
Yes,
with the
please.
rest of the group? Okay. So we have one staff member who is just finishing up his 6 months of provisional stay and is ready to transition to active credentialing, and that's Dr. Yen Chen, who's our gastroenterologist, and again, recommendation to approve. We have 2 provisional staff members who are, again, been with us for 6 months and are now ready to transition to courtesy staff membership, and that's Dr. Kamala Rose and Dr. Hillary Shaw. And again, recommend for approval. Under observation for the 6 months, there have been no issues with their care provided. There are 2 active staff members that are eligible or in due for re-credentialing. That's Dr. Nathan Schlicker in the emergency department and myself. And the group recommended approval. And I would just remind you that I am only a consultant to the medical executive committee. I'm not a voting member. Courtesy staff re-credentialing, a group here, Dr. David Alexander, Dr. Alan Johnson, Dr. Andrew Levine, Dr. Brandon Liu, Dr. Karen Stone, and Dr. Daniel Santo. All of them, again, over the course of the 2 years, no issues with their care, and re-credentialing is recommended. And final staff group membership is an affiliate staff member who also is due for re-credentialing. And that is John Finning, who's our behavioral health therapist, and no issues over the prior 2 years, and recommend approval.
So moved.
Is there any discussion?
Did you get a second?
Yeah, we didn't get a second.
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion? All right, then we will vote. All those in favor of credentialing of these candidates, say aye.
Aye.
Any noes? Okay, the ayes have it. Okay, now we have the Facilities Committee. Commissioner Pollard, will you provide a report on the Facilities Committee?
Thank you, Madam President. I'm the chair of the committee, the Facilities Committee. Commissioner Emma Herron is the second member. We have 2 board members on each committee. Present at this meeting was Superintendent McCollum, Tom Parker, Kim Whitcop, Dr. Kim Whitcop, and Jay Rodney, and Steve Daniel, our Chief Financial Officer, and Scott Monack. Actually, there must be an error here because Jay was, yes, he's listed as a member, but he was excused. He could not be at that meeting. All right. We have a very handsome sign, a monument-type sign at the corner of 99th and Snoqualmie Parkway, at the entrance to the hospital campus, and we're going to put a similar sign right on the parkway at 99th, and it'll be equally handsome. It'll be, I think, in addition to the appearance of the entrance to the hospital. The question has come up on several occasions about changing the dead-end sign that leads into the hospital because it has negative connotations, not only for the hospital, but also for Echo Glen down the road. And Tom Parker has looked into that. I wonder if there are any recent developments. Tom, I wonder if I could ask you to report on any.
I have no recent developments. We've made the inquiry with the city, and they have forwarded that inquiry onto, it's a county road, so
Yeah.
it would be a county issue or the county that we deal with.
Good.
And I haven't had a contact yet with the county, so that's still to be done.
I'm not going to take the time of the board or the audience to go through each item. But we went through many items, and they're all recorded in the minutes over on the table. This is a report, not just requesting approval of minutes. but everything from snow removal to heating issues, floor issues, and so on. I won't take you time to go over that, but I will mention a couple of what I think are important things. And one is the heating garden, which was a part of the original architectural plan. And originally, it was supposed to be open at the same time the hospital was opened in May of last year. But it was covered over with grass, so they were guys for the open house. And we've made no progress on that. Now I'm being told, or we are as a committee being told, that to finish that heating garden, which comes out from the cafeteria area, it would cost $100,000. Now, originally, this was supposed to be funded largely by the sale of bricks. The foundation was supposed to do that, and I don't see that that's going to happen. That's really unfortunate because that was a beautiful part of the design of the building, and you can imagine how nice it would be to come out from the cafeteria into an area with outdoor seating and so forth. It just seems to be going nowhere, so we're going to have to continue to look at that. The adult family home was mentioned. That's already been mentioned under the medical committee, so I won't get into that. There is a great need in this community for home health care. It's very difficult to arrange for home health care. Most of the agencies are in Seattle, and people do not like to travel out here to provide home health care. That's also, according to C-SPAN, the fastest growing industry in the country. Home health care, aides, and personnel. So I think the district needs to consider this. It's not strictly a facilities issue. I think it's more a health care issue. But perhaps we can work together in some fashion to see what we can do about increasing the availability of home health aides, CNAs, and people that can support our aging population. Another item that came up was that we have a space out there along the handicap road that is not designated for handicap, and the parking of our security vehicle there, and even a sign that says security would, I think, be constructive in letting people know that we do indeed have security on campus, and sort of fair warning to be careful because we have good security at the hospital. Any questions?
Yes. Gift shop. I believe that the board passed a resolution allowing us to put away $50,000 for the gift shop, and it was to start the process once we obtained a plan to keep staffing the place staffed. Was there a plan submitted?
There was no plan submitted, and I must say that this was a concern of mine because I felt that before the vote was taken to establish or to approve a gift shop, it should have come through the facilities committee, and it did not. But the purchases have been made for cabinets already, and so things are moving along, but we have seen no plan. The other thing that concerns me is this is $50,000. Roger's going to have a comment here in a minute. This is $50,000, and the foundation is going to be managing that money and taking the profits and so forth because there is nothing in the agreement, as I understand it. It requires that any profits go back to paying the hospital district for the loan, essentially, of $50,000. Roger, could you help explain that?
Well, there's a number of
Roger has the floor. Roger has the floor. Got the floor.
There's a number of additions to that. Number one, there was a staffing plan submitted, and
How recently, Roger?
it was shortly after the board made the approval and the
But
request.
the facilities committee did a copy of that.
No, it did not. And because this isn't a facilities project, it's a board project. The $50,000 is not a loan, but the foundation board has taken the request by some of the commissioners into account, and I believe it is their plan to take those profits that come off of the gift shop, since any money that the foundation raises comes back to the district anyway as a benefit. They would comply with that request to pay down the loan, if you will. The other thing I'd like to mention is that even though $50,000 was approved, we're coming in well below that budget. So there won't be a $50,000 spent on this total project.
Would the staffing plan then come back before the board to determine its feasibility and sufficiency? Thank you.
Are there other questions?
I think that was answered. All we want to know if there was a staffing plan, and that was it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I think, can I just say something? I think just to echo what the superintendent said, and the question about whether the money's going back to the board on the hospital district, it says, the president of the hospital foundation board made a comment, and public comment, that as a point of clarification on the gift that was always the foundation's intention to reimburse the district for the actual cost of the gift shop. So it's right there. It's saying, I just wanted to remind you of that.
Thank you. I don't think it's necessary.
Well, I think it's necessary.
Commissioner Pollard.
If you don't mind, Madam Chair.
It's not a conversation. He's made his point. She's made her points. We should
Okay,
have
under advice of our parliamentarian, you have made a point, Commissioner Herron has made a point, and now we need to move on.
But what Commissioner Herron said does not give clarification to the issue. I would like to speak to the issue, Madam Chair.
Could you? I thought you already had spoken to the issue.
Not to what Mrs. Herron said.
I was answering to your question as to whether the proceeds, the profit that will come from the gift shop will be reverted back to the district. And that's all clarified by the hospital board, hospital foundation.
Does the board what?
The point is, it's not in the contract.
The chair has the floor.
I have the floor. I have the floor, please. Does the board want to continue this conversation?
Call for the question.
Don't have to. There's no question.
No question.
There's no question.
Yes, all those in favor of continuing, say
All
aye.
those in favor of continuing, say aye.
All those opposed, say no.
All those that oppose.
Continuing?
Continue. All those that want to continue this discussion, say aye.
Aye or no.
Okay, all those opposed, say no.
How about, would you accept maybe?
No. No. All right, we're moving on. Okay. We're just deep breathing here for a minute. Public comment. It is time for public comment. The Board of Commissioners is always grateful to the members of the public who come and share their views. We invite interested persons to speak, and all comments are limited to 3 minutes. So we welcome you if you come. And you do not have to state your name or address or anything.
I think all people should state their name. The city, Charles Peterson, still calling. Valerie, it's nice to see you back. Hope you take care of yourself and heal and don't overdo. I have 2 questions. One is, this is a regular meeting night, but yet it's a special meeting, so I'm totally confused why it says that. The second question is, concern, is that now that we are filling up the hospital, the citizens, taxpayers of the hospital district number 4, when they need to come into this swing bed program, do they get priority vetting in regard to other people who are not inside the district? And so I'd like to know the answers for those 2 questions, if I could.
Tom, you want to answer?
I can answer the question.
The chair has control. So do you want to answer the first question? About why it's a special meeting?
Oh, the special meeting is because we had an executive meeting prior to this meeting starting at 5 o'clock and then finished at 6:30 in time for this meeting. So that's why it was a special meeting. As to...
I disagree with that interpretation, but that's fine.
That's what I was told, and that's how yeah. And who wants to address his second question, Tom or Roger?
I'd be happy to. We have always given...
If you're going to answer it, you need to come up to the mic. Thank you.
We have always provided preferential treatment to residents of the district in the decision-making around acceptance into the swing bed program. I may make note that when we receive a referral for the swing bed program, the first step is whether or not we accept that patient. Doesn't mean they necessarily will admit, but the acceptance results in us telling the referring hospital and their staff, yes, we accept that patient, and then it's their decision about whether or not they actually come. But so the acceptance process is a whole series of decision points around whether or not there's a good match medically. For example, do they meet a number of other medical criteria, and then provided they meet all those criteria, we take a look at whether or not they are in district or not in district, and then we give preferential treatment that way.
Thank you.
So all things considered, all things equal, in district.
I have personal information, Madam Chair.
Yeah, if you want to ask another question, you can.
Did you want to ask another question?
If it's common,
Here, they're giving preferential treatment to
It was only if...
people in the district. I'm going to ask Mr. J. Rodney to comment on this. And I think it may be illegal to give preferential treatment to people in the district. I'd like to know what the KDS agrees.
We can offer discounts to district residents, but in terms of admission, that's strictly the province of the admitting hospitalist. And so when it comes to admissions or allowing patients to go from acute to swing, those are medical determinations. And if we have two patients who are both within the criteria of a valid admission, one lives in the district and one doesn't live in the district, and there's only one bed available, you know, that's a determination for that hospitalist to make.
No further discussion on it. We got the answer for you. All right, moving on. The board is now ready to take up new business. Are we done with? Does any member care to move resolution number 499-0116, approving a participation agreement between Overlake Provider Network and the Public Hospital District number 4, King County?
I so moved.
Is there a second?
I think the resolution number is not correct.
No.
Resolution number 500 is approving a PPA, and resolution number 499 is the engagement letter. So please take note. Thank you.
Thank you. I'll note that correction, Commissioner Herron.
Well, I moved for the hospital, the OPN.
So which number is that?
500-0116.
500. So that's number 2.
That's number 2. It just reversed.
Yeah, those numbers got reversed.
Just reversed.
All right, so what we are doing is, this resolution has to do with 500-0116, if I understand correctly, for approving the practice and participation in the agreement between Overlake Provider Network. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And Public Hospital District number 4, King County. Okay, is there a motion?
I so moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
I believe everyone has seen the presentation too from Dr. Wyckoff, so is there any discussion?
When you say that everyone has seen the presentation?
I believe we've all seen them.
It was last,
There was a presentation made at the finance committee meeting, and I think I was the only commissioner there.
And it was also made at the medical committee.
You and Spikers, the three of us. Yeah.
Yes, and then it was made at medical committee.
I was made medical.
Yeah, so that's all of us, is it? Unless I'm wrong, but I believe everybody has seen it.
So the full presentation was made to the medical committee as well?
Yes.
Until us.
Is there any other discussion?
I have a question, and that is, this could be a good thing for the district, but also it has its concerns. For example, was there any thought given to joining the provider network at Evergreen Health? They also have a provider network. Did we look into that and compare the two opportunities? Because after all, Evergreen is a public hospital district and follows the laws of the state of Washington. Overlake is a private, for-profit, it's a non-profit, profit-driven hospital, but it does not have to comply with the laws of the state with regards to open public meetings and those kinds of things. So I guess I'm wondering, why was this rushed ahead without looking at the provider network that exists at Evergreen,
Now, are these,
which is an outstanding, nationally recognized hospital?
do you have any other questions? Are these all your questions, Commissioner Pollard?
Well, let's see.
At this time, do you have any other?
Can I answer the question real quickly? There's no limit to the number of networks that we can join. This is the first one that's come up. We'll certainly explore any additional networks, and we will join as many as we possibly can.
Could we then consider joining these Evergreen networks?
Certainly. Certainly. I will say, though, that this network allows us access to the University of Washington ACO, the same as the Evergreen network would.
Thank you.
Any other
Now,
discussion?
May I make a comment?
Yes.
I've been interrupted at least twice. I asked about 30 questions at the presentation, and I was a little bit skeptical at first, to say the least. But after having all of my questions answered very favorably, I think, in favor of doing this, there's a 180-day out without it. We can get out of it in 180 days if we want, no cost in, no cost out. If there is any future projected charges or fees, we have to be notified ahead of time, and then we have a choice to get out. So I looked at it in terms of what it means financially. We're not going to get any money back, but what we're going to do is get access to more potential outpatient procedures. This is directed at outpatient procedures. It's something that I've been asking to step up for quite some time. So after looking at this, I believe this is a very good opportunity, and I'm in favor of it.
Okay, thank you. Is there any further discussions?
I have a question.
We need to get other commissioners an opportunity first.
Sure.
The only statement that I can make in favor of it is more and more of healthcare is being delivered as an outpatient status. Things that you would have gone to the hospital and spent a week, including having a baby, have become outpatient services.
Commissioner Herron, did you have anything you wanted to say? Okay. Commissioner Pollard.
On page 8, there's section 2.17, non-disparagement. Practice participants agree not to disparage OPN, Overlake Provider Network, or in any manner during the term of this agreement or in connection with any expiration, termination, or non-renewal of this agreement. I think that flies in the face of the First Amendment. If this were a public hospital district, I think it would be prohibited under state law.
Thank you very much for your comment, Commissioner Pollard. Are we ready to vote? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? The ayes have it. And one abstention. Okay, now we're going to do, that was 5000116. Now we are doing 4990116, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any comments or questions about this? Any discussion?
I guess because I'm new, I'm not familiar with the outfit, but I was reading their letter. I think it's okay. Sounds like they have a good working and good recommendations. So
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Herron. Any other comments?
Has the motion been made before we comment? Are we supposed to make the motion?
Did somebody make a motion? Is there a motion?
I make a motion that we approve this resolution number 4990116.
Is there a
Approving execution of engagement letter with Whitfly LLP.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion?
Just for the sake of informing the public as well as commissioners, is this a recurring program that we do every year, and is this the same organization we've done it with in the past? Can we get an answer to that?
Yes, it is.
Is there any way to avoid the cost of this particular process?
No,
Thank you.
it's a federal requirement.
Thank you.
Are we ready for a vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed. Unanimous. Okay. I believe that ends our business tonight. Next.
There's other. I know
Anyone have
there
other?
wasn't on there before.
Oh, that's right. Other wasn't on mine.
Does anyone have any other?
Does anybody else have other business that needs to be addressed this evening?
I just thought about scheduling a special meeting next week,
This would be a good time to ask that.
so.
I also wanted to again stress the importance of having a board work session monthly, maybe before the regular meeting to discuss, different topics or issues that we may come across later before. So I think I brought that up last month.
I think you did, and I think it is not off the table. It's just a matter of getting it done. So we will consider that. Thank you.
Maybe we could just suggest the best time beginning next month to do that.
Do we want to do it?
A time we could, as commissioners, talk to Val and see what time availability.
Okay.
That way we actually are doing something.
Yeah. And I believe also next month we're going to be doing the next phase of our strategic planning. So you might want to think about time for that also. That will be coming out from myself.
Okay, I'm puzzled. A work session, is that something that needs to be voted on, or you can just say, we're going to do this?
The president should consider it and with the other leadership, and she can propose it.
I guess I will consider it with leadership, and I think I will probably propose it. The difficult thing is...
Propose a work session?
No, I will
Propose it.
propose it,
I'm
yes,
sorry, so
thank you.
the-
But I think we need to coordinate a couple things, so we will have some dialogue, all of us.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Do you want to schedule a special meeting now, or you just want to?
Do you want to schedule a special meeting now, Commissioner Spikers?
I do. I think it'd be best if we all have our calendars to do so. And we had talked about Monday, but I believe that there isn't really any space available to do it. And so we had tentatively put it at 1 o'clock, but I don't think we have any space.
Which day are we talking about?
No, Monday, Thursday, I want to check. Do you want it here or at the hospital?
Even one works for me, but there may be some other folks that...
I will have to check on availability of both spaces. The bigger issue is getting the notices posted in time.
Right, and that's a really quick timing by tomorrow to do that. So maybe we should be looking at Tuesday instead, so that there's put so much pressure on Val.
I'm not available Tuesday evening.
Point of order, Madam Chair.
Yes, Mr.
And
Pollard.
that is that according to, I think, the Open Public Meetings Act, it is technically not necessary for us to post in the post offices. Now, I like it very much, but if we put it on the website, that meets the requirement of the law.
We have, since we've established this process for over a decade, we need to probably stick with it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I wasn't aware that,
Okay, so we still need to come up with a date. Everybody pick 1 or 2 days that will work for them, afternoon, morning.
can't we get this posted then and go ahead and do it on Monday? I think that was the most convenient time for everybody.
No,
It's
I
just an
would-
issue of posting.
No, I can certainly try for 1 o'clock on Monday, but if I don't, am not able to determine the location in time,
Then you can't post.
So you need an alternate date or two.
and we need time to get it to the facilities department
Mhm.
So
sooner than an hour's notice. We have to drive to 5 different
Did
post
I hear Joan say she's not available on Tuesday?
I'm not available Tuesday
what about during the
evening.
day?
During the day,
Okay. How about Wednesday?
During the day, what time?
Say Wednesday at 2 o'clock.
Well, I'm in for it.
And we'd like to have Jay there. Jay, you're very, you've got a very tight
Thursday is
schedule.
not good either.
So Monday should be just
I'll be accommodating.
Tuesday's no good in the day, is that right?
during the day, maybe 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock in the morning's good, Tuesday?
Tuesday works for
That
me.
doesn't fit with
I
Joan,
can't.
does it?
John, are you busy all day on Tuesday?
You're busy all day?
no, oh, Tuesday,
Yeah,
Tuesday,
morning,
10 a.m.
10
10
a.m.
a.m.
I just want to give a couple of
It's
dates
close.
so that Val doesn't run into a snafu having to contact us.
Joan, are you unavailable in the afternoon? I have an appointment Tuesday morning.
Yeah, I'm in court
Tuesday morning,
Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, you're,
Okay,
okay.
so Tuesday morning's fine.
Tuesday morning's good.
well, he has an appointment on Tuesday morning.
Well, I can change it if it's agreeable, if that date is not.
Wednesday morning? Wednesday morning?
Wednesday morning would be better for me.
Okay.
No, Wednesday morning.
That's not good for you.
Probably not.
Okay. And then Wednesdays are busy for you.
Oh, is it
Oh,
on
no, Wednesday
Wednesday?
morning is good,
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
All right, so Wednesday or Tuesday morning, so which are we looking at, both?
I
Yeah,
think,
Tuesday or
Why don't
Wednesday.
we set
Wednesday morning is not-
Wednesday would give them plenty of time to do the posting.
yeah, let's do it at 10 or 11 on Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Either one. 10
Okay.
o'clock.
Wednesday's
I
10.
can't make it back here by 10.
Okay.
10:30.
About 11?
11.
Yeah, I'd like to have lunch, but I guess it doesn't
Uh,
matter.
Okay.
I'll bring lunch for you.
Okay.
Joan, can't you be here by 10?
No, I
she
can't.
can't.
I will be coming back from Mill Creek at that time, and I can't.
Okay, it's not gonna be a long meeting, let's just keep it at 1 hour, 11
If it's
a.m.
gonna be 1 hour, then could you make it by 10:30, and then you still be able to go to your lunch?
It's not lunch that I'm worried about.
Could
That was
10:30
just
do
an
it?
aside. I have an obligation that
It's all right, you don't
I
need
have
to
to do.
explain. So at 11 o'clock,
It's okay.
What time?
11
11 o'clock. I
on
agree.
Tuesday.
Okay, Joan?
Mm-hmm. 11's fine.
11?
So under considerations, Monday
Okay.
at 1. or
Monday at 1,
at 11.
Wednesday at 11.
Not
Monday.
Tuesday.
Either one.
Monday at 1, okay.
If possible, I'd sure like to meet in this room in case
Well, it'll depend on availability.
Normally you don't have the council.
yeah.
You can't
Okay,
really go in
all
there.
right. Well, that's
You don't wanna
secondary
take over there.
consideration.
Yeah.
All right.
Not-
Okay.
Couple of other things under the agenda item other.
Yes.
Okay, I just want to say that I think that the public member, Mr. Peterson, was correct when he said that we should have advertised this as a regular meeting for the regular meeting portion, and the special meeting should have been just for the executive session, rather than to post this and announce it as an overall executive or special meeting. This was not a special meeting. It was a regular meeting, and to that was attached a special meeting executive session.
Thank you for your comments, Commissioner Pollard.
The other thing I'd like to mention is that we got our materials on Monday, late Monday afternoon. So I don't think we were given enough time to study for instance, the long resolution here, 500-0116 is 28 pages long. I think if somebody were to give us an exam on the content, we'd all fail it.
Open book.
We need to try to comply with the revised bylaws that say we get this 1 week in advance unless impossible, which is what the superintendent added. I think that we should try to make that possible.
I think that's a good comment. I mean, we really, really need to have these materials at least a week in advance because we need to be educated to make prudent decisions. And we know that you guys are working your tail off to try and get this stuff to us, but we really do. I mean, we just gotta have to draw a line. You know, you can't put it on the agenda if we don't get it a week ahead of time. Maybe we'll have to put that in the bylaws, you know, and that will increase make that special meetings. So
I would say it's particularly true about resolutions. Those are the hardest for us. Those tend to be the things where we really have to study and look.
I agree, because I felt like I was cramming myself and I'm choking.
Okay.
So I had to physically ask for it. Thank you.
All right, then that means that we will not be adding things to the agenda that we haven't had time to study.
Okay. Thank you all for your comments.
Can I clarify for the record, the special meeting is executive session only, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, are we ready to
Is it
adjourn?
supposed to be a special executive session only?
Yeah, I think that's what the confusion has been, is that we made the whole thing special
Okay.
because of the executive.
Yes, got it. I got it. I
Yeah,
thought you were
and what about,
talking
is that about next week?
Next week, no. That's a public meeting.
Okay, we need to clarify.
It's not executive session,
No.
so I
It's a public meeting.
will just agenda.
Yeah.
And will you be putting that together, Commissioner Spikers? Will you be putting together an agenda?
Yeah, I'll put together 3 or 4 bullet points, and we'll go from there. You know, something simple. You know, we hash it around in public and decide at that point what we want to do.
Okay, thank you. Is
Mr.
there,
Spikers, so the agenda needs to go in the notice, so maybe I can get together work tomorrow remotely.
I'm actually going to be around tomorrow. I will be available for tomorrow.
I can call you then and take those 4 bullet points so we can just get the agenda.
Sure.
Great.
Fine, thank you.
thank you for commissioners for all your work tonight. It's been a long evening, and we are calling this,
There being no further business.
pardon?
There being no further business.
Yes.
I move adjournment.
This meeting is adjourned.
We have to approve.
Do we have to approve, do we have to make a motion?
No,
Oh.
there being no further business, this meeting is
Okay.
adjourned.
There being no further business, meeting is adjourned. There, thank you.
Signatures.
Ah.
That's what I tried to say when I was president, but they kept telling me you had to have a motion to adjourn the meeting.
You got to the end?
You're at the end.
I am at the end.
We hope not.
Yes, sir. I think we're efficient today. Okay, I gotta get everything out of the way here, so, thank you.
Yeah, keep.
I know, that's right, I know. I just have to go over some of it, yeah, I understand.
Thank you, I think that was, thank you, Emma. Really, efficient and really basic.
I just want to clear folks.
Okay.
I don't do a bad thing and take one.
It's very cute. Lots of fun. Okay. David, where's David? Okay, just so you know. All right, that's fine. See if that's all on here. Okay. Is there places for other commissioners, I assume? I'm sorry, Val. I'm sorry.